Hello and welcome to the Saintly Sounder, your source for all things FIFA. Alright, so after a delay, we have part 2 of the head-to-head challenge. Today we are looking at 3 more Bundesliga strikers: Lewandowski, Choupo-Moting, and SIF Perisic. Alright, so up first is second inform Perisic on 7 chem at striker. He's prototypical, and if you've seen the review, you can know how much I like him. As you can see, he's put up good goal scoring stats as well as assist and a point per game score of 1.3. I've modified the review a little bit to reflect more of the 50 game experience. Again, on breakaways, he's not super sweaty. He can stay away on them, but he will be run down by some of the faster wingbacks. Inside the box, he's got plenty of shot power, and his weak foot is very good. He can just blast it into either corner, and it's probably going in. Outside the box, he is tied with Royce as the best long shot taker in the entire game. He's just so clutch from either foot, anywhere in the field. Hold left trigger to give it a little bit of flair, and then put it into the corner. So much dip, so much swerve, impossible to defend. His skill running is very good for a 6'2" player. He can do a lot of fake shots, feels very smooth, and strong on the ball as well, which is an incredible asset. And then heading, he's got a monster 90 heading rating on foothead, and he's just so good in the air. He's authoritative, exactly what you want out of a striker that's going to be leading the line. You can play the ball to him on corners or whip the ball into him on crosses, and he's probably going to get his head on it. He's one of the better headers in the entire game. And then because he is a winger, he is very good at assisting others. Also, his medium work rates means he drops back a lot and can play a lot of support balls as well. A very good team player and an all-around beast. Alright, up next is the most expensive player on the list, Robert Lewandowski. 18 games, 13 goals, and a monster 20 assists. Really impressive, to be honest, although I'm not quite sure if he's worth the price tag. Double 4 stars and good height, good work rates, and good links are really his highlights. I do give him an 8.5 out of 10, though, because I do feel a little let down by the shooting aspect, although very good. I expected a little more from a player of his cost. Breakaways, he's definitely in the Higuain category of low 80s speedsters. He's not going to be able to sprint by a lot of people. I was a little disappointed there. You're not going to be able to sweat as well with Lewandowski as you would with some other options in the Bundesliga. His inside the box finishing, really in particular impressed with his 12 to 18 yard finishing. I had a lot of problems with his close snap decision shooting. He felt very average there, but his 12 to 18, if you're one of those people that like to shoot from that area, really pick corners, Lewandowski will be able to pick them for you, and it doesn't hurt that he's got a good weak foot as well. Outside the box, a little bit above average, an 8.2. He can score from that 18 to 25 range, but although I would recommend that you get him inside the box. His skill running, I was a little disappointed with it as well. His card stat suggests that he'd be really good at it, and I know a lot of people use him in skilling squads, but I just honestly didn't see it that much from him. He just felt a little too weak, a little too clumsy on the ball, more than I expected, and I was a little disappointed there, but he still gets a good rating because he is decent at them. His heading, even though he's 6 foot, he will win his fair share of headers, but very similar to Benzema, he is still only 6 foot, so don't expect him to win too many aerial challenges against the bigger center backs in the game. And then with his 20 assists in 18 games, you would have to guess that his assisting stats are going to be very high, and he is good. He's a very good team player. He seems to work in that space. I'd really recommend him over the other 2 options if you want a guy to play a false 9, or maybe a guy, if you have Royce on the left and Oba on the right. Lewandowski can really feed the ball to his teammates. And lastly is one of the most hyped players in the game, and to be honest, I really don't understand why. Again, I gave him a second shot here. This is the second time I've tried to use him, and although he did better, 10 games, 5 goals, 3 assists, he really just doesn't feel like the type of player that deserves all the crazy praise he gets from the community. Alright, so upgraded informed Choupo-Moting gets an 8 out of 10, and if I were to describe him, he's basically Ibrahimovic without the crazy shooting. And as you can see, breakaways, I gave him the same score I give Ibrahimovic. You're just not going to sweat with him. I was very shocked. At one point, I was screaming at the TV, is this what 80 pace looks like? Because he just blew so many breakaways. You just can't sweat with him. Inside the box, he's a little clumsy to get turned, although I did notice a slight improvement. He gets an 8 out of 10, which is still respectable, although given the other options in the league, that just quite frankly isn't good enough and doesn't justify the price. His outside the box shooting felt like a little bit of an improvement as well, slightly above average. Again, 18 to 25 appears to be the range where you're likely to score with him. Any further though, and I wouldn't recommend it. His skill running is quite good. He's got enough height, strength, and power and a good dribbling stats to be able to do a lot of stuff for you. He's got 4-star skills. He's going to stay on the ball very well. He's very, very talented at holding up the play. Again, though, he's kind of hampered by the people in his league. I would recommend Perisic or Lewandowski if you're going to have a hold-up type guy to play other wingers. His heading is very good, though. He definitely feels like a massive upgrade. I don't think he lost very many headers for me. He's got good jumping. Again, he's 6'3", 6'4", so he's very good in the air. You can definitely whip the ball into him again, which makes him very good as a striker, as all three are pretty decent in the air. Maxim, Choupo-Moting is a little bit better than Lewandowski in that aspect. And then another converted winger, he is very good at assisting his teammates. And really, I felt like I was leaning on the support of the wingers a lot more with him because I'd find Choupo-Moting laying too far back and not quite talented enough to either have a long shot or get in on his own. He does lean heavily on his supporting cast, but luckily he is respectable in the passing stats and can more than get the job done for you. Alright, so up first is Perisic here. This is what you get though, and this is what makes him a really special player. He can do that regularly. He is a game winner. If your opponent just sits back, he's a park-the-bus destroyer. He can score from long shots at will, hold left trigger, aim for the corner, celebrate. Here's what Lewandowski brings you. He brings you being a good teammate. I don't think he scored any really spectacular goals for me, but he did assist in spectacular fashion. He's always finding the correct pass. I believe he has insane short passing stats, and it really does show. He's able to find the pass so comfortably, and here they are working together. If you have the chance, and if you're using a two-striker formation, I'd recommend going Perisic and Lewandowski because you get a teammate and a long shot taker. They really complement each other. They're both decent in the air. They both have decent pace. They're very good. They're not common to see used together, and they're so dynamic together. Really dangerous combo. Alright, so here they are described in 3 adjectives. I didn't have any Choupo-Moting clips because, to be honest, he scored headers and really cheesy goals. Nothing too special there. You've probably seen it a million times. You scored some yourself, probably. Alright, so in form Perisic, he's all about the aerials, the long shots, and the weak foot. Dominant in the air, amazing from range, and you can shoot with either foot in the box, which is crazy and very, very useful. Lewandowski, he's a teammate. He's clinical, and he's got good dribbling. Although I wasn't super impressed with his dribbling, it is true that if you're going to compare him to Ramos or Aubameyang, Lewandowski is a much better, much more technical dribbler and finisher on the ball. Although I still don't know if he really justifies that crazy price tag. I'd personally rather have Perisic, but that is up to you. Maxim, Choupo-Moting, again, if Ibra is a monster for you, not because of long shots and not because of his clinical finishing, but you like to go on skill runs with big, tall guys, Maxim, Choupo-Moting is for you. His in-form upgraded card feels very good. He's just a tower of power in the center of the park. He's not going to be a sweat monster for you, but he can dribble. He can hold up the play very well, and he's a unique player as well, which I value a lot. I don't think he's a special, once-in-a-world, Division I conquering, sweep-aside-everyone talent, but he is a unique player that could be worth a go for you, especially in themed teams like an African Cup team or something like that. He could be useful. And lastly, before you get on me for not putting Mueller in, I tried him at both striker and center attacking mid. I honestly feel like he's more of a center attacking mid. I'm going to talk about it in a review I'm going to do later in the week, but I do recognize that Mueller's striker card does exist. Some people like him. Honestly, I don't know why he deserves such hype. These other guys that I've talked about in these 2 videos really are superior. He's about, I would say, a little bit worse than Lewandowski, to be honest. I know that's going to be controversial, but that's just my opinion after giving them all plenty of games in Division 1. Alright, so as always, if you found this at all interesting or helpful, like and subscribe. I'm on Twitch at the Saintly Sounder and on Twitter at the Red Death 329, where I will announce my Twitch sessions as I do have a busy week and month, so I will be announcing all Twitch sessions on the Twitter account, so check that if you want to see some gameplay. Should be some good teams. I'm still working the trade market, so I feel like I'm going to have a lot of good players coming up when I do get back on Twitch. It should be actually really, really exciting. I'm really happy with the profits I've been making in trading, so there should be some very, very good teams coming up on the Twitch stream, so look out for that. Until next time, see you on the pitch.